Hey, what's up? I'm Crimson Mockingbird, and I'll be starting down the rabbit hole that is Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. Now, I will be doing this on normal, and I've already played a good portion of this on I don't remember that from the PS Vita version, but I did play through 90% of the game so far on the Vita. And from what I was told, this is essentially a extended sort of one. It adds in extra side chapters that didn't appear before, as well as new items and new quests. And I thoroughly love it on the Vita, and so I figured I would just go through this and sort of thing it. Also, you won't hear it because obviously it's music, and I didn't want to mess with all that shit because I'm already having to deal with something like that on my channel. It's really stupid. I'll explain as we go, but essentially the music from this is very similar to that of Persona, and in fact the interactions and a lot of the stuff, I mean, if you can even look at it, it feels very Persona in its appearance. Combat's different, but I actually like the combat in this one. I don't know, I've always liked real time. I don't mind the turn-based, but at the same time, there's certain things I don't like about the turn-based. But going back on to the topic at hand, of what I mentioned before. So on my Monster Hunter video, Capcom nailed me, and which is okay. The one that they said it for was monitoring, not really monetization, which I was okay with. I would have been okay with them trying to like do the whole monetization on it, but the one that pissed me the fuck off. So the section for it was the very opening of the Monster Hunter series. Like that first opening cutscene, which understandably I honestly should have cut out. Now that I think about it, or should have shown only parts of it. But is it going to show the opening? Okay, it's not going to show the cutscene for it, but like, so it was a pretty long segment. It was like 2 minutes, I think, or so, around 2 minutes, and of when like they had marked it. So within those 2 minutes, 4 seconds after they when they themed it to 4 seconds after they had themed it, some fucking douchebag set up that they monetized it saying that I was using their thing. Some fucking other YouTuber was saying it. And it was some Japanese YouTuber. And I was like looking at him like going like, okay, you have a channel of a couple thousand. I have a channel of like 10 to 12, I think, right now. I don't know. But, so I'm like, okay, fucking douchebag, you don't need to do that. It's like, also it's like, where the fuck do you get off on claiming me using that segment? Not only that, but I was even talking over it. So you can't say that my voice is your voice. That's stupid. So currently right now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do chapter by chapter or how I'm going to do this, because I know a lot of the later chapters, they're longer, albeit I think part of it is all the grinding you have to do. But really, that's beside the point. Now I'm going to have to try and get used to the controls. Hopefully they're not too different. But I know that sometimes whenever they transfer stuff from the Vita to the PS4 or vice versa, controls, they have to hedge the controls a little bit. Or they're able to expand, and because of that expansion, some buttons get moved around a little bit to places that you're like, that wasn't there before. He's awfully, by the way, he is supremely calm about all this shit that's happening. He just got dragged into a fucking another dimension, and he is so calm. By the way, I think that what I just said within the first couple minutes of me recording this has been the most curse words I've ever said in a single video. That's actually quite surprising to me. But yeah, currently on my Vita 1, I'm in the final chapter, and because of how I did it, I am it's super grind time, because I didn't grind appropriately prior to it, and so I'm kind of same level, if not slightly lower level than a lot of the enemies, and I don't have enough money to pay for a lot of the shit to get better equipment, so it just like kind of screwed myself over. Once again, surprisingly calm about a lot of this. As you go on throughout the story, you gain a lot more people in your squad, and pretty much every time that they meet into that, pretty much they're like losing their freaking minds for the most part, and they're like, what is happening? What's going on? I want you to start explaining. And it's just like, yeah, sorry, right now I need to kick this monster's ass, and then I'll explain. And they're like freaking out the entire time you're trying to explain. So it's just like, okay, sure, why not? Let's go with the explanation. And you're freaking out. You're acting a lot more normal than he is. He's just like, it's like, that's kind of surprising. Like, look at that. He was more worried about her than he was worried about what the heck was happening or going on. Okay. By the way, all of their soul devices look so badass. It's like, they are really cool. Because for the most part, you can tell what they are, but they just have a futuristic and sort of otherworldly design to them. Like, that reminds me of I guess, a combination of a sort of like a rapier. But like one of those actual fighting rapiers, not the practice rapiers that they have, I guess is the best way to explain it. Like, you know, the ones that are used in actual combat, because normally those ones are the dual edge and very slim. Albeit hers isn't as slim, it's more, the thickness is about like that of a normal double-edged sword, I would guess. But the guard around it sort of reminded me of a rapier.
なあ、柊。これって夢なんだよな。じゃなきゃさすがに意味不明すぎるっての。
ええ、その通りよ。ただの一夜の悪い夢。少なくとも。
Which, by the way, if people are actually looking for a good alternative to Persona after you've like played it through like the 10 times that I'm sure a lot of those Persona people played through, this is a good alternative. Once again, like I said, it's not turn-based, but the vibe you get from it is very Persona-esque. Alright, so had to skip over the opening because obviously because it's a Japanese game, they obviously had a Japanese opening, which considering how often I have to deal with those, and I know that they're going to try and do something. Oh, I forgot I need to press continue on that. It for some reason it does the Eclipse, but then it doesn't really continue on. But I know that they would ding me for it. Even if it's just video, they would ding me for it. So, plus it reveals some spoilers. So I'm not going to show any of that because I might do a full playthrough. No idea yet. Sort of sitting at a 50-50 right now. And by the way, as of me recording this, Shadow of the Colossus comes out tomorrow. So I'm gonna do at least a video in that I'm probably gonna do with my friend Zach. So get hyped for that. Yeah. So he's actually gonna be over, and I'm debating on if we're going to record or not. Normally we hang, we game on some other stuff. We're especially gaming a lot on Monster Hunter. Sad thing is though, because of when he works and when I'm doing other shit, we haven't had really much to do too much on Monster Hunter. So yeah, I'm going to record off of my main account on PSN. I have a character who's already at 5-star, and I'm going to record the mission in Monster Hunter, the Breath of the Wild mission, which is of course related to Horizon Zero Dawn, which is amazing, and I am so hyped. I haven't actually seen anything for it, and so I am excited to see what's in there and what happens. Sad thing is a lot of the games I really enjoy are the kinda grindy games in certain aspects. Like I recently bought again Star Ocean: The Last Hope, the one that was on the PS3. It was re-released on the PS4 in 4K, HD and 4K, and I'm pretty sure it was up-res to 60 FPS, 1080p, everything. Yeah, you know, the whole shebang. It looks really nice, and I've been thinking about recording it, but I know that I would have to do so much fucking grinding, and there were so many battles to do in that game. Like, you can think about it like this. It is battle, take 5 steps, battle, take 5 steps. A lot of it is just that, because literally you have to fight every enemy across the map multiple times before you go and fight the first boss. Otherwise, you will get your ass handed to you. There's like a minimum level that you should be at when you go and meet. Essentially, when you meet a lot of the other characters throughout your travels, pretty much that shows you what the minimum level you are at. Like, that you should be at. And if you're not at least at that minimum level, then you are under-leveled completely. And by under-leveled, I mean basic enemies can kick your shit so easily in that game, which is actually kind of refreshing. You know, it's because it's not like shooters where any enemy can kill you or stuff like that, but or in like some JRPGs or just RPGs in general, they have it where it's like, oh yeah, once you get out of this first area, then then once you get through that first area, then normally you can take on the second area. It's like, nope. If you're not properly leveled up for that second area off of fighting the enemies in the first area, you will get your ass completely handed to you. And even then, you might still struggle with it, even if you're leveled up. Like, I actually played some of it, got to the second planet, almost finished the second planet, went back to the first planet, and I still actually had to struggle with some of the enemies. It wasn't until, I think, when I was playing it originally, it wasn't until I got through the third area, or like the third planet, I think the third area, that I actually went back to the first planet and was able to just destroy the enemies easily. Albeit on the second planet, then I still had to, it was still pretty difficult dealing with the enemies on that area. She's like, hey, you guys are late. Hurry it up. And of course, like in Persona, you're going to have the occasional intersection in the school where you have to answer a question and hopefully get it right. Some of those are easier than others. I think that in this one, it's not as difficult as some of those in the Persona. I know in Persona 4, there were certain ones that I was just like, I can't remember this shit. Should you really be whispering in class like that? I was about to say, just kill me now. Kokonoe. I think it's Kokonoe. Which reminds me, if it is Kokonoe, isn't Professor Kokonoe a character from Blaze Blue? I think. Editor me, show it if there is, or at least show what I'm trying to reference and correct me if I'm wrong. Or there's someone named Kokonoe, I think. By the way, I was actually thinking about this earlier, but there's a lot that I have editor me do that recorder me doesn't think about until after the fact. I've actually cut out some things that I've actually said because I was like, why'd I even say that? I don't know how to do that. I don't remotely have an idea of how to do that. It's like, me, do this. It's like, after the fact, oh, why'd I say that? Why'd I say that? Luckily, it's on a part of its own, so I can just cut out that little sound bit, and it's no problem at all, but beyond that, yeah, it kind of sucks. Or there are other times where I say something, I'm like, okay, I think I can do this, and so then I spend 3 hours trying to figure out how to do it, and then decide to look up a video on it, and it's just like, oh yeah, you just have to go to this right here and you just have to go to the clip, just cut out the section you want and right click on it, and boom, you're done. And it's just like, I didn't think of right clicking. I didn't even remotely think of that. But then after the fact, then I was able to do some of that stuff relatively easily, such as speeding up clip. I've done that multiple times, or slowed down and extended a clip and done that multiple times, and it's more along the lines of struggled to figure out how to do it. Once I figured out how to do it, or once I've looked up how to do it, all of a sudden of realizing how easy it was, then I was able to just go, yeah, just throw it in there, just to speed up, slow down, anything like that. Certain things I'm still kind of thinking on, because for some reason they've changed some of their stuff in the sense that it's just like, okay, and a feature that was there before and was easy to find is now gone, and so I have to rely on previous Adobe things to then use said elements, because I can't figure out where the elements originate from now. Sort of going back to my Trials in Tainted Space, which, by the way, I should hopefully have the newest one up this weekend. Truthfully, I haven't recorded it because he meant Phenoxo, I think that's right, Phenoxo, mentioned that there should be a public one available soon, an update one. So I've been trying to hold off, as well as he was saying that there should be a Valentine's event thing maybe popping up. He likes to do a lot of holiday themed stuff, and so I'm hoping to have that whatever the next public one is, which should involve said elements or event in it, to then use that as the next episode and then continue on from there. Also, along the lines he was mentioning of new ships that you can get, as well as each ship having a capacity, so you'd actually, considering the starting ship you start off on it's referenced as not being very big, but then you can have, but I think in it at one point I had a group of like 6 or 7 companions, and it's just like, including myself, by the way, so, you know, so 6 or 7 people in there, including me as the character, and it's just like, with the number of people that are in there, that seems like an awful lot of people in such a, what is referenced as a small ship. Even if, say, your first companion that you get stays in the same room as you, shouldn't there be some sort of, I don't know, capacity for the ship? So I've been kind of holding off on waiting on that. I've been thinking of bagging him on Patreon to get access to the Patreon builds. By the way, what Ryoji just mentioned about, you know, it not being the season, I think in Japan, especially in Japanese schools, I think that there are certain seasons for certain rumors or stories, in a sense. From my understanding. I don't know, that's sort of my understanding from watching, you know, like a lot of media from stuff like that and understand, you know, and from my sort of understanding through animes and manga and video games of sort of the generalness of it. And I would imagine to a certain extent that they're relatively accurate. I mean, if you think about it, especially ones like these, it's like, okay, made in Japan, so the culture is very from there. So they shouldn't really be messing with something that goes beyond their own culture that they wouldn't understand in a certain sense. Like, you know, so they should understand a lot of the Japanese norms in Japanese schools. Thus, for stuff like that, it should be very easy for them to translate it because they would want to make it relatable to a certain extent.
私も家に連絡を入れたら大丈夫だと思う。こうちゃんはどうする？
ああ、悪い。バイトが入ってる。マジかよ。バイトって昨日じゃなかったのか？ああ、今日はレンガ小道のアンティーク屋に呼ばれててな。いつも他のバイトを紹介とかしてもらってるから、なかなか断れないんだよ。たく相変わらずだな。
こうの家って先月からご両親が海外出張中なんだっけ？1年くらいって聞いたけど、そんなにお金に困ってるの？おじさんたちから生活費は十分もらってるはずだよね。
いろいろ差し引いたら小遣いなんて全然残らなくてな。それに俺にとっちゃバイトが部活みたいなもんだしな。
そうそう、中学の時からこっそりとやってたもんね。
おーっす、トワちゃん。
もうトワ先生でしょ。
でも中学からってアルバイトとか OK だったの？そっか、ジュン君は高校からだから知らないんだ。こうちゃん、表向きはお手伝いとして昔からいろいろと手を出してたの。
そうそう、おじいちゃんに何度言われても懲りなくて。しかも昨日は深夜までアルバイトしてたんだって。
I like her look. It's just like all cheery, then all of a sudden when she looks at him, like death stare.
深夜アルバイトは校則違反です。いとこだからって見逃してあげられないからね。そのうちおじいちゃんに知られちゃっても知らないんだから。
ああ、もう分かった分かった。つうか学校でこうくんはほんとやめてくれ。
Do I finally get to move around? Yes, I do. Okay. Yep. You saw nothing. There we go. Okay. Okay, so it's right button. That's a little different than the one on the Vita. On the Vita, it was down. Once again, like I was mentioning, it's like, for some reason, they change it. I don't know why. Look, there's nothing even on the down button now. And it's like, okay, why? Why is that different? Why did they change that? Let me see. Relatively everything else the same as of right now, so let me see. Yep. Voicemails.
スピカの新曲の発売日、明日と思ってたら今日だった。急がねえと初回版がなくなっちまう。ああ、俺のバカ。
I'll let buy special edition of stuff too. So, right, okay, there we go. So as you can see, they have like a Friends tab. I guess in a certain sense, the Friends tab and stuff like that is very similar to what's the other one? X-Blaze. Which is a spin-off series of the Blaze Blue series. In fact, on the last Blaze Blue, they actually had a character from X-Blaze appear, which was badass as shit. But so I'm gonna talk to a lot of people. I'm going to for a lot of the main interactions, I'll skip any of the side ones. Beyond that, the one thing else is, like it says, go to this library and get the book. You just think it was fine to keep going as long as you aren't caught, weren't you? So beyond that, I'm going to do this. Blah, blah, blah. I've read that all before. I don't really need to again. And I'll see you guys when we have the next main interaction. Alright, and we're back at the entrance again. So, here's the thing. So pretty much a lot of it is running up and down and all across the buildings, and most of it's idle chatter. I'm just trying to fill up the friends log and friends book with all the information I can. Albeit, as far as I can tell, I think that there's a new game plus. I'm pretty sure, because once you hit, I think, the second chapter, then you get like friend episodes in which you interact with a lot of the key people you're going to be seeing in this first chapter and beyond. And as you meet new people and etc, 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 you're going to be expanding your friends episodes pretty much to the point where even from the get-go you can't interact with everyone. I think that there's always double the amount of interactions that are available. So essentially, you know, it's like, okay, if you get like 2 friend interactions, then that means, you know, chances for friend interactions, that means that there's going to be 4 available interactions. There's always going to be twice as many as what you can do. So essentially, if you see 8 friend interactions, but you can only interact 3 times, that means there's going to be a way to get a 4th interaction.
悪い。しかし驚いたぜ。確か九州の方だっただろ。引っ越してきたのか。
いえ、私一人で上京しました。生島流を極めんとするならば、若いうちに見聞を広め、己が修行の場を見出すべき。
That's some hardcore shit right there.
そんな風にお父さん、師範に勧められたものですから。
それで東京組んだりまで。相変わらずの武術一家だな。しかし変われば変わるもんだな。3、4年前は髪型も格好もわんぱく坊主そのものだったじゃねえか。それがスカートなんか履いて、なんつうか成長したもんだぜ。
I think he's saying that you're a lot more girly and a lot cuter. But yeah, it's kind of frustrating later on when you're just like, God damn it, I need to figure... Essentially, from the get-go, you have to figure out what characters you're going to want to do the episodes on. Like, you know, what people do you want to interact with? And essentially, that's who you're always going to interact with. You might have the occasion here or there where it's like said character you can't interact with, and so you have to choose some other character to interact with. Okay, would that really be surprising? She studied at 2 different dojos to try and become a master of her main dojo, and so it's like, there's a karate club. What? And you've already studied karate since you were super young. What do you think that they would do normally? Oh, I'm gonna join the cooking club. So it's like, that makes no sense. By the way, I really like her, and it kind of irritates me that her name is Asuka. Albeit, once again, they mention the name as Hiragi because, of course, it's all familiar names. It goes family name, personal name. So I guess over there I'd be Mockingbird Crimson. But beyond that, so... And so that's why over here that it's Ko and Asuka. Because those are not their family names, it's their given name. Because over here, as we would reference to people, it'd be by personal, we'd all reference each other by personal name or given name, and then family name for anything such as like superiors or stuff like that, By the way, that is such a stupid and shitty pickup line. Have we met before? I can understand using it as someone that you swear you met before. It's like, no, seriously, I swear I've seen you before, or I swear I've actually met you before. But I've heard guys try to use that line, and it's just like, oh, that is such a shitty. Why do people try and use that line? It's such a stupid line. There we go. Crap. Okay, well, before we head out, I'm gonna head up there, so BRB. I think I got everyone, so I'm gonna head out. Albeit the one thing I do like is, unlike in Persona or some of those other games where you have to go to like an entrance or an exit to interact with all this stuff, you can just straight from here just go like, I'm just going to teleport to the next area, I'm just going to teleport over somewhere along there, and it's just like super convenient. By the way, I don't understand why they give her a name. As far as I know, she never gets a friend page, and she never appears, and she's just always in here, but she never appears outside of the store. It's like, I don't know why that character is even referenced. You know, why does that character have a name when this person back here, okay, this person also has a name, but most of the other characters like outside just have like female worker or, okay, what? Did they change that? They must have changed that. Okay, here's a good one, housewife. But most of the characters normally just have like just their, like essentially a description of what they are. It's like, you know, like that one, it's like housewife. So I guess they just decided to give most of the people names, which is cool, but kind of surprising. Here's a reference to some of the other games and stuff. That one, ah, I swear I've seen that one before. Oh, Cold Steel, I think. I didn't know it had mechas. Does it actually have mechas? Oh, I should get that game then. I don't know about this one. But I played through like Kiba's trip, and I just remember looking through some of that stuff. I'm just like, I recognize some of these, and my friend was going, because we were both playing at the same time or so, and so he was just like, okay, what is this one? It's like, I want to know. I'm like, oh, that one's from this visual novel or something like that. I'll buy a lottery ticket. Let's buy 2. And then I think pretty much it's per chapter normally. You would go and talk to them after, you know, the next free time essentially, and that's when it'd become available, of when you can cash those in and hope for some quick cash. And there's a certain way to improve it, your luck, I think. You have to go and get fortunes from, once the shrine becomes available, you're able to get fortunes. And then you have to go and try and get the best fortune. Essentially, you need, if you get a good fortune, I think it improves your odds of getting it. Yeah, sorry if I'm just sort of skipping through here. A lot of the stuff they're saying doesn't really matter. Even though they have names, they really don't matter. Some of them, though, they get friend pages, other ones don't. It's really strange. Like that one. That old lady, for some reason, got a friend page. Yet, like, 9 out of the 10 people I've talked to up here don't. Like, she was customer. Don't ask me why. I don't think that little girl ever gets a friend page. I don't think he gets a friend page. He doesn't get a friend page. It's the newspaper, which I can then read and gain wisdom. Which I don't think will become relevant until chapter 2. And Brick Alley. Well, I'm gonna go talk to all these random people. This guy creeps me the fuck out. Ugh. Ah, that's creepy. He creeps me out, man. Start work.
Ara, 少年じゃない。いらっしゃい。
So pretty much this is the shop that you would want to go to for a lot of your odds and ends, and pretty much you're gonna be stopping by this place a lot. Like, I mean a lot. Like, pretty much every chapter you will at least stop in here at least 2 to 3 times. Or you should be at least.
珍しく客でも来たのかと思ったら、今日は何の用だったかしら？
いや、あんたの方からバイトに呼んだんでしょうが。
そういえばそうだったわね。いつもはよそにばかり斡旋しているからうっかりしてたわ。昨べは蓬莱町のバーだったかしら。一応お疲れ様と言っておくわね。
どうも。こっちこそいつも助かってるっす。中坊の時からいろいろと手伝い先を紹介してもらって。
せっかくの若い労働力を有効活用しない手はないから。なんだったらそのうち1日2件くらい組んであげましょうか。
今くらいでちょうどいいんで。それで今日の仕事ってのはいつでも始められるっすよ。
ああ、その前に昨日のバイトについてだけど。
Yes, what about yesterday?
その日のうちに報告を入れるよう言ってなかったかしら。
ああ、そういやそうだった。いや、すいません。昨日は深夜まで長引いちまってついうっかりしてたっつうか。
本当にそれだけ？何か他に事情があったわけじゃなくて？
え？
Are you implying something? Do you know something I don't?
昨日は妙に疲れてたみたいで、バイトから帰ってきたらすぐに寝ちまったんですよね。風邪でもひいてたのかな。どう帰ったかもおぼろげっつうか。
なるほど。
え？
さて、そろそろ仕事を始めてもらいましょうか。報告を忘れたペナルティとしてしっかり働いてもらうわよ。
だいたいこんなとこか。たく相変わらず人使いが荒いっつうか。
少年、そろそろ休憩にしましょうか。 人使いの荒いお姉さんが紅茶でも入れてあげるわよ。
The slave driver is here.
今行くっす。
Oh, that reminds me. I need to pick up Mad Max again. The game, not the movie. I already own the movie. But I need to pick up the game again. I had it for a while. Got 99% of the way through. Like, I mean, of all the collectibles and everything. And I was like, why am I missing something? And it's like, this area says 100%, yet it says that I'm missing something also at this area. So I went back to that area and I realized it was an area that right as I was opening something, a guy killed me. Or I fell or something happened. It was something stupid. And so one stat read it as opened. The other stat read it as unopened. But the area within it had had essentially removed it, believing that the said object had already, like said container had already been opened. So an area had been was technically sitting at 99%, like 98% done, and the overall collectibles was at 99%, and this was after. So I didn't realize that until I was completely done, and that was one of like it in like the second areas of the game, and like there's 5 areas, I think, or yeah, I think there's 5 areas, and it was in the second area. And of course, once again, it's one of those things where first area is relatively small, second area gets bigger, third and fourth are pretty decently sized, and fifth is just super big and super long and stuff like that. So yeah, so pretty much if I would have realized it when it happened, I could have restarted the game no problem. But considering how long I had spent to then do everything else, I was kind of irritated. And I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm calling it quits. So traded in the game. And looking back at it, that's the only trophy I'm missing. Here's the thing though. I have that same problem on my Nier Automata game, but on my Nier Automata, I am willing and more than happy to replay through it multiple times. Where the Mad Max, it was enjoyable, but at the time I really just could not deal with playing through it a second time. And now that's been so long since the game had been released, I'm like, I wish I would have kept on to it. In fact, I've sort of been keeping on a lot more of my games. Like, I'm not really selling my games. Yes, I buy them all physically, as many as I can physically. I love buying physical because A, my internet is so shitty where I live right now that digital just doesn't really help me, and B, I don't know, I've always just loved physical. Especially, I like looking at the box art, I like looking at a lot of the other stuff, and I like getting those collector's editions. I mean, I don't mind buying digitally for if it's a digital only game or stuff like that, or like having some of those like on my PSN Plus stuff. I don't really mind. Look, it's Asuka! Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. Because her name is Asuka, I'm really having conflicting things because I also like Asuka from the Evangelion series. Or Evangelion. I don't know. That's one of those weird ones that a lot of people say it both ways.
落ち着いて聞いて。ここは現実世界と並行して現れるもう一つの
I've
世界。
heard it referenced a lot both ways,
触ることもできない世界の裏
so
側
it makes it really difficult to know.
私たちはそう呼んでいるわ。
異界？
そしてイクリプスという現象がひとたびゲートをこじ開ければ、
I would say maybe
現実世
Evangelion
界への侵食が始まる。
or Evangelion, because I think that they call them
それに巻
Evas.
き込まれてしまったの。
So Evangelion, I guess, would be the main one. But
わけが
back
わ
to
から
that.
ね
They, I like both Asukas. They both have very similar personalities, very
する必要もないわ。
lone wolf,
とにかく
straightforward
落ち着いて
personalities.
そこのゲートから出て早くしないと。いけない、下がって。
あの時の
異界の住人である怪異グリードと呼ばれるものよ。異界のあちこちをさまよい迷い込んだ人間に襲いかかる、そんな習性を持っているわ。
それじゃあしおりは。
ええ、かなり危険でしょう。一刻も早く保護しないと。すぐに片付ける。一旦私の後ろに。時坂君、
どうして俺たちの町でこんなことが。畜生、俺には何もできねえのかよ。こんなわけのわからねえ状況で黙って見ていることしか。
力が欲しいかい？
And boom is, and here's gonna appear one of the most adorable characters ever.
その光は。
And a super unique weapon.
ソウルデバイス。やっぱりあなたも敵隠者だったのね。
I would say the closest I could reference it to is off of its movability of, I think what they call it, a Falcon Blade? I think that's what it's called. Or some blade like it. Essentially, it's a blade that upon use, it can... It changes into a whip. It's sort of like, like, who is it? Ivy from Soul Calibur? Or a whip blade. Essentially, it's that. That's the closest thing I can think of referencing his weapon to.
異界で戦うための力よ。
ソウルデバイス。
その名の通り、敵隠者の魂に呼応して権限するわ。でもいきなりそんな複雑そうな武装が現れるなんて。あなたは一体。
See, she even referenced how complex it is. By the way, I don't know the full story, so there's certain things that I still don't know about it. So I am super hyped if I could actually do a full recording of this and figure it out, I would thoroughly enjoy that.
何が起きてしおりをあいつを助けるために
時さ今は
柊助かる
おそらく倉敷さんはこの迷宮の奥に急ぐわよ
ああ
It's a lot of stuff you don't need to know about. Essentially, it's what... By the way, those E attributes aren't what the attributes the enemies are. It's what attribute they're weak against. Which does... They don't really explain it that well. I should have saved. But that's beside the point. Let's just go with this and... And I'll sort of show a little bit off. I won't do the final fight. I think I'll do the final fight, and I think within each chapter there's a side chapter. So I think I'll do final fight and side chapter for this one on the next part. I at least wanted to start fighting in a dungeon in the first episode. I hate... There's always so much lead up that I hate leaving off on it when I could have done something. I already looked at some of the controls prior to playing, so that's why I'm not really worrying about looking at the controls. I don't think I've ever gone full 100% on any of the maps. Because to do that, you need to get 100 hit combo at least once. Or you need to get your hit counter to 100. You need to take no damage. You have to break all the boxes. You have to destroy everything breakable. You have to get enough elemental kills. And you have to do it all while moving fast enough through an area that, that you get a fast enough time. So essentially it is, you have to be like, even end of game I ran through this and I got the no hit and but I couldn't quite get the time bonus because of how difficult it is to try and break everything while getting the time bonus. Not only that, but once you get to a high enough level, going through this starting area, you kill enemies in one hit. So, yeah, kind of sucks. Because then you kill them in one hit, and it's like there aren't enough enemies or destructible stuff to actually get you to 100 hits. By the way, I actually had it one time where I moved through an entire area with a full hit combo. And even then, that wasn't a fast enough time. Like, seriously, you need to just hit and go. You need to be able to just hit and go. Oh, I'm so weak as to how I'm compared to in like my Vita version. I am so weak. My health is so minimal. I think on my Vita version, I think Ko is at like 5,000 or so, 5,000, 6,000 maybe health as like his max health. So to me, just having it where it's like, oh, this deals like 10 health. It's like right now I'm just like, no, it deals so much, and on the other one I'm like, wow, I wish the enemy attacks would only deal 10 damage. That would be amazing. Oh. I guess it went through the enemy. That was kind of surprising. Oh, I should actually equip that on her. Now I think about it. Oh, I can, I think. Let me see. Plate 1. Yes, it's better. Shin guards. Okay. Here's the last enemy before the big boss, if I'm correct. I think. So for this one, I don't want her. He does... No, actually, I do want her. Because that one's weak to strength. And I think Spirit, which is hers, is the one that is weak to strength. So essentially, it's the same elements versus each other. Oh, god damn it. Wow, I can't believe I got her KO'd. Do I have a revive thing that I can use on her? Okay, she has 1 HP. I think the good thing is, though, is that I think the thing that'll be up here can actually full health me, which is the save point. So. See, even with a time that's better than the par time, it still doesn't count as fast time. So it kind of sucks. I'm pretty good at getting S rank. Occasionally I get A rank, but most of the time I get S rank. But it's ungodly how difficult that is. Normally the first, normally I get A rank, S rank until the first super difficult and long fight. But beyond that, I will be ending it here because I think this is about an hour. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please hit that like button. Please leave a comment down below. I very much appreciate it. Also, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all of these videos, which I will be releasing. I will be at least releasing another video. I at least want to get through chapter 1 and the side chapter. But stay up to date with all my current and future videos. Out of the way, though, I hope to be seeing you further down the rabbit hole next time. See ya.